G'day, you absolute sexy mad dog legends, and welcome to the Basin Podcast, episode number 15. I've got a lot to discuss and we'll bloody get into it. I'm Kade. I'm Kade from the Basin Podcast. I'm the mastermind behind KadeTurner.com. It's me who created both of those platforms for myself and for you mad dog legends. Why is this episode so cool? I'll friggin' tell ya. I've just had an amazing time the past few months teaching music full time. I'm learning a lot about my students. I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning a lot about music in general. And I've got to touch on some pretty important stuff. So to center this chat around one thing is really cool. I was on the phone twice today and then I was cooking dinner before and I thought, this can't wait any bloody longer. I've got to get in here and discuss this stuff because it's so important to me. And I'll take you guys on the journey through my perception and how it's been and how my reality is changing and carving itself around the world that I've created, that I wanted to create. So to have this platform and to have the feedback that I have, honestly, dudes, use a mad dog, sexy legends. It's mind-blowing to be sitting here and speaking this stuff. It's a surreal dream, a little trip, if you will. And I love it. I really bloody love it, eh? So one thing that has been sinking in to my psyche, day in, day out, and becoming stronger and stronger for me is the understanding of my relationship to my instrument. So when I was younger, I was just fixated on learning to play riffs and how to sound cool, how to look cool. I was really hiding behind a lot of aspects of my playing. I didn't understand to read music fluently, and that made me feel a little bit inferior. The students that I deal with the past 6 months who are dead set legends, I'm really learning a lot from them every day because it seems to me with people's relationship with themselves and especially their instrument is they're not fully happy if something is unaddressed or they're, for example, hiding behind. It seems to be something that shows up for me every day, one way or another, in myself or in my lessons. If you're anything like me, it'll eat at you and you'll want to address it. And that's what's been happening. So I had to make some big changes in my life in order to create this world and this reality, this studio that I'm sitting in, KadeTurner.com, the Basin Podcast. I work hard for my playing and I bloody love it. Anyone I've played with, I'm pretty sure, will tell you the same thing. I would watch artists like Phil Collins and the Dave Matthews Band, for example, and it would just destroy me. Not because their music isn't amazing, but because I wanted to have and create the relationship, the free-flowing relationship with myself and my instrument that those professional musicians had. And I had roadblocks and I had things destroying me. So that is why things are so different now, because I adjusted my life and created my reality around that and dedicated myself day in, day out. My reality started changing when I stopped running from the things that were eating at me and they were destroying me. I had melody issues. I had rhythm issues. I couldn't read fluently. I wanted to know how to mix better, how to record better. I wanted more stage experience. I wanted to know how to run my website fully and have an automated booking system. I wanted to know how to film myself, and I wanted to basically be a one-man show and step everything up. But this forever gave me ongoing anxiety because I couldn't do it. I didn't have the time. I was working 60, 70 hours a week for years, literally years. When I could go back to work in 2015, I didn't stop, not by choice, just because of the industry I was working in. So the way my brain is structured and changing the past 6 months is mind-blowing, and it's teaching me the true depth and connection with your instrument. That is what I'm discovering. I would see teachers when I was younger, and they would just be at one, at peace with themselves when they were playing. I had to earn that, and I had to fight like an absolute mad dog, where I can jump on a music session, a rehearsal session, jam with a band, where I'm not thinking about what I have to do. I'm not full of anxiety. I'm just enjoying it. I've done the work. I've studied my theory. I've studied technique. I mean, I teach technique, tone, and theory for a living. So you'd want to hope I was bloody half decent at it, eh? I'll let you guys decide that from my videos, my Google reviews, my website reviews, and I'm forever working on growing and bettering myself, and that will never ever change. The day you stop learning, well, you know, I don't ever want to be in that position, not in a hurry anyway. But a few things have really triggered this episode, especially because it's so important to me to explain the changes that I've undergone the past few months. Now, I follow a few people on social media, and when I watch how they operate, it's inspiring to me, and it's true and apparent that they are living and breathing their craft every day. Now, since I was 16, it destroyed me working construction, not because I don't like mechanical work, not because I couldn't do it, but for the time it took me away from my instrument and my relationship to bass playing, and in myself and in my hands and my whole relationship towards music in general. So the most amazing thing about the past few months is that I've been able to explore that, not looking at dials, thinking about how it feels, and then sending that off to mastering, rather than being washed in numbers and EQs and plugins and what you think things should be. Now, why is stating this so important? I'll bloody tell you why. Because my relationship with my playing has grown to a point that I'm confident in what I'm delivering. I'm understanding that I've chosen my gear intentfully to track it. Now, I'm not hiding behind compression to glue it together or to make my playing sound even. It was around COVID that I just stopped obsessing over gear. Now, don't quote me on that, because I'm a bloody gear nerd, always have been, always will be. But what I mean by that is this piece of gear will give me this feeling. This piece of gear will give me that tone. And what I was missing, and I know this will resonate with a lot of you bloody legends, what I was missing was just the time with myself and my instrument and making that friggin' connection, making it gel, ingraining it, being friends with it, not running away from any part of it. Now, unless you live it and breathe it and really ingrain it, it's pretty bloody hard and, more on the unlikely side that is going to become a reality for you, that you will be a professional and practice that art every day. So really honing in, having the time with that new bass, having the confidence to trust my mixes, to trust myself in my tuition and my stage presence is honestly amazing. It's incredible. It's a total different level of feeling to where I was months ago. It's totally different to where I was years ago. But of late, it's really sinking in. Now, you guys will know if you follow my YouTube channel that I've covered Mouth for War by Pantera. I was never stoked on the tone, was never really stoked on the playing, and I was never really stoked on the video. Now, that's eaten at me enough today to make me go, right, Kade, you can re-record that, do a new video, do new audio, do the whole thing. Why is stating this also so important? Just because I've got a Mesa Boogie DI or a Demeter bass pre, because Justin from Tool uses one, it must sound good. Just because I've run it through that gear or my Avalon, for example, doesn't necessarily guarantee its awesomeness. It just bloody doesn't. Now, I'm stating this very open and honest because it's so friggin' true. I'm past the point now that I want to colour things in post-production. Waste of time, crazy. I just honestly, I don't care anymore. It just has to be played right. It should be played right. When you've got the time to sit with your instrument and do that, your whole relationship to it changes. When you're on the clock for session work, recording, you learn what does and doesn't work. Learning to read, to chart things out, to teach, to do masterclasses, to record myself, to do my own website. Doing all of that has taught me so much. And not running from any of that and facing it head on is the exact same thing I've done with my relationship to my instrument. Now, am I saying, go out and do this, your world will change? No. But if you have flaws that you are hiding behind, I suggest facing them on or off the stage when you're ready, in good time. This was my time. I wasn't ready 5 years ago. I was stressed. I was still wrestling with what type of player I wanted to be. I mean, I've always had my own unique style and I've always had my own tones and I've always been very strong with rhythm. That's something that has come quite natural to me. Melodies are where I'd struggle more. Reading is where I'd struggle more. Coming up with stuff on the spot is where I would struggle more. And I had all these things eating at me. Now, what's happened is I've addressed so many of them that a few of the pieces get chipped away and more of the stone gets revealed, so to speak. And I cannot stress enough how awesome it's been seeing my friends tour, getting inspired to wake up every morning, come in this studio, teach, and develop my relationship with my instrument beyond having gear, beyond creating tones, but really understanding what it means to be a musician. Are you playing clean? Are you playing with soul? Is your phrasing interesting enough to where an established musician would listen to it and go, shit, yeah, that's bloody awesome. So working on CadeTurner.com not only has pushed me musically, but it has psychologically and mentally. And the feedback from this podcast honestly blows my mind. Now, there is a guitarist from Melbourne that has been pushing me for months to do this, Getting behind a camera for me is normal. Filming a whole episode of a podcast is new. The feedback I have is overwhelming. How hard I'm willing to push myself and work, that's the reason I am where I'm at. That's the reason I have students and teach every day. I'm not interested in tearing anyone down. I'm not interested in anyone tearing me down. My path always has been and always will be about pushing myself. KadeTurner.com from day one was about personal growth. And honestly, I bloody love that. It's awesome. So I've had to re-record and re-film many of my videos, but I don't mind because I cannot push them out until I'm happy with them. My podcast gets special treatment. So does my social media videos. I can't just release something for the sake of it. I mean, not everything has to be 12 out of 10 perfect, but I do like to get it as best as I can. An awesome conversation I had today with a videographer here in Melbourne was about what my goals are for KadeTurner.com. How many more full-length playthroughs do I want to do? What location do I want them in? How many courses do I want out? And what type of courses are they? How many more podcasts before I sit back and bask in, a nice place mentally where I can relax for a little bit? Not that any of this stresses me out, but it was really cool to have that chat and that vision today to develop a grasp on where I want to be. No, I don't know how it'll feel when I get there, and it doesn't mean I'm going to stop, but my vision is crystal clear for what I want and what I've set out. So working with legends every day is mind-blowing, growing in myself and pushing my playing and developing a deeper relationship with my instrument. Awesome. Bloody awesome. I've come a long way. You mad dogs have been with me for the whole time or part of the journey, or first-time listeners or viewers. Thank you. Welcome. Do your thing. Support this. Rate it. Comment. Share. Send me emails. Send me messages on social media. Reach out, as you legends have been, because I'm really starting to understand that people love this podcast, and that blows me away. It's something that I've worked hard for 25 years now on bass alone. I'm happy with my playing. I've got a long way to go, but I'm really starting to understand every day that to do something the way I want to do it, you're either all in or you're bloody not. So thanks for hanging around for this bloody episode, the Bass and Potty, number bloody 15. I just got inspired today. I had to jump on here, had to friggin' chat all this shit out and just tell you legends what's going on. Thank yous all again. And I'm available for touring and session work, tone, technique, and theory tuition. And let's bloody step up your bass game. Keep pushing yourself. Keep working hard. I bloody love yous. And I'll see you on the bloody next one. Yo!